Our challenge is it's very easy for us to fall into feeling defensive and attacked. When we feel that way, we lash out or shut down, right? But when we lash out or shut down, we stop hearing what the other person has to say. Stop hearing everything. You're probably, if you think about past situations, you'll notice that you don't really remember much of what they had to say to begin with. You were already planning what you were going to say next to further the argument, to further defend yourself. So you've lost that opportunity to really see where your choices created that situation and where your personal responsibility lies. Now, the chances of you having 100% responsibility are very slim, because we tend to operate with our best intentions in mind, trying to do the best that we can with the resources we have in each moment. So we don't usually go about our lives trying to hurt others or with the intention of hurting others unless we feel defensive, right? So it's important to keep that in mind and understand that the same applies to the other person. When we are in this space of feeling attacked and feeling defensive, or if we're communicating an issue to somebody else, it's important to really pay attention to the words and the tone and the body language that we're using, because if we immediately come at someone and make them feel defensive or feel attacked, the exact same thing applies to them. They cannot hear you. Anything that you're trying to say will not be heard. So when I'm talking about and teaching communication to my clients, that's one of the things that I always point out is you cannot come at them from a "you did this" or "how dare you" type of approach. You have to really stop and say, I know that you didn't intend this, acknowledging their intentions first, and then talk about how the outcome itself impacted you, right? And when you start to do that and you start to really give yourself space to process what's being said and come back and respond later, you'll find that other people start to follow and apply the same things in their relationships with you. So as you lead and show them what you want and set that new tone, most people will follow along. If they don't, then that means it's time to reevaluate the relationship. So again, our challenge is working through that fear and not taking things so personally, because when an issue arises, it's both our own internal models of the world and perceptions, as well as that person's internal models of the world and perceptions. And communication means that we both have to come together and be able to share those different perspectives and find where they actually align and meet, versus insisting that your way and your perspective is the only right way. It's always going to be somewhere in the middle, right? So both points can be true. And when we let go of that fear of being wrong and that fear of doing something wrong, and the shame of I am wrong and something about me shouldn't be there and shouldn't be present, right? When we let go of the attachment to that shame and that guilt, it gives us this huge opportunity to deepen our relationships and learn how to communicate in a more effective way. So again, our challenge is really letting go of that fear and that need to be right, and just pause and listen and evaluate what they are actually saying. What part of that is true for me?